Today, for our first reading, we've heard chapter 6 of the Ephesians, a very well-known chapter because it lays out very clearly the truth of the spiritual battle. Perhaps the most emblematic phrase from today's reading is, "Our struggle is not with flesh and blood, but with the principalities, powers, and world rulers of this present darkness." So what the reading is pointing at is this. The struggle is not against each other, but the struggle is against the powers of the dark world. So let me give you an example to make this more clear. When in a family there's division, let's say when there's division among siblings because they're fighting over an inheritance, let me ask you this question. Is it only a struggle between flesh and blood? Or aren't the principalities also involved creating division? What does the devil mean? Diabolos, the one who divides. Think about this. When there are spouses that are struggling, when a husband is fighting against a wife and vice versa, is it only a struggle between the flesh and blood? Or don't you think that's really, in the deeper analysis, a struggle between the forces of God and the forces of evil? Think about this. In the church, the division among the church, liberals, conservatives, people taking sides on Pope Francis, other people taking sides against Pope Francis. Is that a struggle only of the flesh and blood? Or don't you think there's a struggle there against the principalities of evil? And my sense is that wherever you find division when there is meant to be unity, even in a parish, the pastor against the associate pastor, or one group of parishioners against the other group of parishioners, is that only flesh and blood? And my sense is, Paul is telling us, no. It's not only a struggle between flesh and blood. It's a struggle of the powers of this world against the powers of God. So let's think about this. In your own life, are you struggling against someone? Are you feeling hatred or resentment against another person? Are you finding difficulties in getting along with another person? Do you feel divided with other people that you should meant to be united with? Today is a good opportunity to remember that when there is division, that's not only blood and flesh. The principalities of evil are always trying to create division. So how do you defeat division? How do you defeat the principalities of evil? Many things could be said, but my sense is that humility, defeating pride, is the best way to create unity. So brothers and sisters, number one, let us open our eyes. Let us have that awakening moment and see wherever there is division, it's not just a matter of flesh and blood. The evil spirits want to create division, and they make people grow apart from each other. Who are you being drawn apart from? And second, the only way that we can defeat division and the struggles created by the powers of evil, especially can come through humility. Because through humility you defeat pride, arrogance, self-love that comes from the evil spirits.